If somebody comes from my village and sees me at the University of Lagos and speaks Yoruba to me, the attitude is that your primitive sister is here. Ara oko kò gbóyìnbó. So for a long time now, the credibility of your being a civilized person is that you must speak English. You are enlightened, you are civilized. Because English is the language of the civilized people. Yoruba is vernacular. You know the meaning of vernacular? The language of the primitive people, which is not structures, which is nothing. So who wants to speak vernacular? I remember I paid fine with my money for break in school. When you speak vernacular, you pay. You are not allowed to speak vernacular because to show yourself as an educated person. But my worry, I know some people share the worry. I don't know who will tell me any culture in the world where the children are educated in a foreign language. You get to Germany, I lived in Germany. German is the language of education, from primary to the university. France, Britain, Japan, Chinese. Why is your own different? Probably our problem is this place that we don't know the meaning of education. To be educated in Nigeria is to be able to speak English and write English. But I think writing and reading is a secondary thing. If you look, I've tried to look at the meaning of education. Education is a process of passing your knowledge, the knowledge of a people from generation to generation. Now, if my father wants to pass the knowledge he has to me, what language will they use? Secondly, there's one thing that I found in my Western education. Knowledge is supposed to be improved from time to time. My father will teach me something in the hope that I may improve on it. But when you read, people wrote on Africa, especially in Yoruba, they said in Africa we don't improve knowledge. That what our father tells us is what we continue to say. Professor says so. Professor Apia is from Ghana. Professor Mudimbe is from Zimbabwe. And he said our problem is that we teach our children in our language and we make them repeat what their fathers. I think the problem I have is that Yoruba seems to be extraordinary and different. I am not saying they are wrong. I have evidence that they are wrong. The Yoruba people say, "Ogbon odun ni were emi." Now, Ogbon, wisdom this year. It doesn't say ago. Where is madness. If knowledge can change beyond recognition and become madness, the people know that. So how do they think that the knowledge they give their children must be retained? But I don't blame the two of them. They don't read Yoruba language. They have not come across what I said. There are many things that Yoruba deny that because the language is poor. The Yoruba are conscious that anything you say today is temporary. You are expected to improve upon it. Wisdom is what everybody wants, knowledge. But there's a saying in Yoruba that is very interesting to me. Tá bá na gọ̀gọ̀ ọgbọ́n sí nǹkan tí ò tó, ká fi wèrè díẹ̀ ti sẹ̀. The Yoruba man cannot understand that. I use wisdom. It's not enough. As you become mad. It means I'm mad, but I'm not mad. Does wisdom always achieve the aim? Let's think of a very short story. My brother took a wife from Ondo State and came to Lagos and told the wife that the people in the next door, when I talk to them, we quarrel. Don't go there. When he came back the next day, the girl was there. I told you not to go there. The second day, he came with some gifts with the wife. The wife was carrying the baby of those people. The third day, the same thing. What do you think the man should do? In most cases, when you try to solve a problem with wisdom, the person you are trying does not appreciate wisdom. He must appreciate madness And it happens everywhere in the world. So the question is, why do we seem not to see the importance of speaking your language, Yoruba language? Most people say the Yoruba language is primitive, it is vernacular. A professor wrote that the Yoruba people have no word for mathematics. I know they do, Ishiro. And it's a Yoruba man. Its meaning is that Ishiro means addition. After we criticize him in a conference, he changed it. He said addition, description, the four laws. Those are the four laws of mathematics. So how do you say that we don't have enough? In the same paper, he said we should not try to translate English to Yoruba. For example, television. The Yoruba translation of television is amóhùnmáwòrán. He said that's very poor translation. Now, my question is, what is the meaning of television in English? Tele, I speak a little of German. Tele means difference, distant. Vision means seeing, so it means seeing at a distance, and that is how the German translate it. Fernsehen. Is that the meaning of television? Are you just seeing at a distance? Are you not hearing? So when you say amóhùnmáwòrán, is that more scientific, more comprehensive? It captures both your picture and that's the scientific meaning of television, audiovisual. Audiovisual is amóhùnmáwòrán, and it says that word is bad. You begin to ask yourself, what are we talking? What are we talking? There's no word. Television is not as comprehensive as amóhùnmáwòrán. But this question of hatred, of the idea that Yoruba language is inferior, is primitive. All my question is, what is the evidence for that? And for you to say the language is primitive, for God's sake, you must know it, you must speak it. Let me stop at that. So the problem we have today is that we have been brought up to believe that Yoruba language is a vernacular, it is inferior. The white man who said that does not speak Yoruba. Now, my duty is to find out whether what he says is right. I go and study Yoruba and I come back and tell him that my language is better than your own. That is what I've been trying to do. I don't argue that English is not better than Yoruba. I don't argue that Yoruba is not good, it's good. I want to say something in Yoruba, say it in English, and compare whether what my people said is not right. Those people have not done any investigation. The Yoruba man wants you to speak his English language, he must destroy your own. He must promote his own. But we are the only slaves in the world who accepted the dictation of their master. The Japanese speak English to Japan, the Chinese, and they have invented so many things. They speak their language. They teach their children. Those of you who believe that English is better, you have been educating your children. What have you found? What have you invented? You have not done anything. Because you are, even the English you are reading, you don't even understand the meaning of English. So let me stop at that. One, if they say Yoruba is bad, I don't say yes or no. I will tell you, please research into Yoruba. You must know Yoruba. You must look at it. You must study it before you know. And I can promise you, not every word in Yoruba is right, but there's a lot of good things said in Yoruba language. There's no language that is perfect. Study your language, identify the one that is useful, and take away. But leaving it, not speaking it and learning it, you are killing it, you are committing suicide. Anybody who is anxious that we are not speaking Yoruba, I must be careful. Are you saying we should replace English with Yoruba? The question is, why is it that we are not speaking our language? Anybody who comes up and says we should not speak English, we should speak Yoruba, doesn't understand. One, this country is made up of 253. Unless you are saying we should break up. If I speak only Yoruba, how do I communicate with others? How will I communicate with Igbo or Hausa? If the Hausa does not speak English, how will he communicate with me? So we take English as lingua franca. But that does not mean you should not know your own language. Because your culture, everything you have discovered in the world is in your language. So in this kind of situation, my worry is that even the English that you are teaching in school, your children are speaking bad English. Asking you to speak your language does not mean don't speak English. Ifa is not about philosophy alone. Ekpega, a Baptist pastor, he gave a lecture at the University of Ibadan in 1987. And there he made a claim that embarrassed me. So if you ask Ifa, you say it's a religion. Ekpega said Ifa is not a religion but contains religion. Ifa is not philosophy but contains philosophy. Ifa is not science but contains science and profound science. The mistake is to say that Ifa is pure religion. No. It's a record of Yoruba thought. They are recorded in different disciplines. And it has been discovered today that computer science is in Ifa. That particle physics, which has just been discovered in Europe, is there. There's a man in America, John Smith Jr. Particle physics is the latest development in Western science. It is in Ifa, which means Ifa is ahead of the West. And Ifa was in existence 500 years before Jesus Christ was born. Binary mathematics was discovered in 1964. Professor Oluwole is a professor of computer science. All they show it was at Ibadan. Everything about computer is in Ifa. Everything about particle physics is in Ifa. And it predated. Now, all we're asking, if you ask me, Orunmila, which is Socrates, please discover them. I'm not preaching. And to know with Orunmila, all you have to do, what did he say? And luckily for us, more than 15 people have documented Ifa in writing. I did research. I went to many researchers. But I discovered one of the problems. When I went for research, Timbati Debe, ẹjọ́ kí ni Ifá sọ lórí democracy, bàbá ò ní lè dá mi lóhùn. Kí ni Ifá sọ lórí physics, kò ní dá mi lóhùn, kò mọ nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ physics. It was my assistant told me, Mama, ẹ mọ̀ bèrè topic. Ẹ sáà jẹ́ pé ẹ mú èèyàn méjì dání. Bàbá ẹni fẹ́ wo nǹkan kíkan tí babaláwo bá ti sọ ká rìkọ́ọ̀dù ẹ̀. By the time you go home, you'll be surprised what is in Ifa. The man is not treating Ifa in modern sense when education has been broken into disciplines. You know, traditionally, the philosophy everything was in philosophy. It was much later that mathematics, philosophy, political science broke away. It is still in Ifa, they have not broken away. If you want physics, go to Ifa, you see it there. If you want mathematics, it is there. If you want religion, it is there. It is the West that broke it away. And since they broke it away, they have lost a lot because they are not collated. I am not preaching. I am not saying Socrates is bad or good. I am not saying, I am only saying what they said. My title of chapter 3, what they said, they said. Read what Socrates said and read what Orunmila said, and you make up your mind. Whether this man is wise, whether it is not wise. My challenge to the intellectual Yoruba people, do research. I'm not preaching Christianity, I'm not preaching Ifa, I'm not preaching religion. Who is Orunmila? You cannot answer that question unless you go to ask. Kini Yoruba kọ́ ẹ̀ ẹnu fa lórí ẹ̀ tí mo rí. They are fantastic things. There is a particular professor from Ghana. He said Africans must copy the Western man. That's why you are speaking English. I said, you want to be like them. But if I told us, if we have a nation like Africa or Yoruba, who believes that he must follow his enslaver, then we're in trouble. Somebody who came to enslave you, you want to take him as the ideal, and you want to make progress. Let me quote an Ifa that said that. Ọkọ lọ sóko, ó kọjú sílé. Ọkọ ń toko bọ̀, ó kọjú sóko. Ta ni ò ṣàìmọ̀ pé lòdì lọkọ ń ṣe. Ó lóun ló dífá fún aṣerúbọ bàtàn. lódì now let us take the one back. Ọkàn lọ sóko. You know when you take the cutlass, you put it on your, it is facing the back when you are coming. A nation that wants to have progress and turn its back to the front, how can you move? You want to go forward, but you are turning your face to the slavers. Not only that, aṣẹrúbọ bàtàn. Do you know the meaning of aṣẹrúbọ bàtàn? Ẹrú tó ní ọba ará ilé òun. Ọba ló rà o. Òyìnbó are the people who bought us. Àwa ní ará ilé òyìnbó ni wá. How is it possible? The white man came, they were clever enough, they enslaved us, they carried us away. And you're asking us, if you want to develop, we must copy the white man who came to enslave you. Ẹrú lẹ mọ́ kú sí láíláí. Ẹrú ò kì í sáré alẹ́ ọba, ó rà á ni. Tẹ́rú bá dẹ̀ ti délé kó jọ kó lọ wá nǹkan tó ní sílùú ẹ̀. And for information, I am not saying Yoruba culture, any culture is perfect. There is no perfect culture. But there's one thing we always miss. There is no absolutely bad culture. There is no absolutely bad, good culture. You must study culture to know what is positive and can be used for development. I know those ones you should throw away. If you condemn the whole of your culture as you are a stupid idiot. If you praise everything, you're a compound fool. All you need, study your culture, take the one that is good for progress, leave the one that is, but to say that Yoruba culture has nothing for the future, again, stupid idiot. Eventually, when I got to Socrates, I was encouraged. Because after going back to Socrates, I discovered he did not write anything. So if Socrates, who did not write anything, you know the title of Socrates, the father of philosophy. If Socrates, who did not write anything, can be the father of philosophy, why can't we find somebody like that in Yoruba? And suddenly, Orunmila to me was a god. It's an Orisha. It's not a human being. But when I went into literature, we know the mother of Orunmila. We know the father. He was born in Okegeti in Ile-Ife. He started the school. So the man you know the father and father, how can he be? He cannot descend. So he was somebody like Socrates. The thing that invited me to write Socrates and Orunmila ni pé kí lorúkọ Orunmila lédè Yorùbá, kí lóríkì ẹ̀. Oríkì Socrates is Socrates, father of philosophy. Philosophy means wisdom. Kí lóríkì Orunmila? Bàbá Ifá. Kí ló ń jẹ́ Ifá? Wisdom. So the two of them have the same oríkì. Father of. So if the Yoruba say Orunmila Baba Ifá, which means father of wisdom, and Socrates means Baba Ifá, kí náà fi jọra wọn? And that book is a surprise to me. When I looked at all of them, their life is almost identical. There's differences. According to history, Orunmila has many wives and concubines. Socrates officially has one wife, but people tell us that he has two. Then the question is, how are they similar? I discovered about 35 quotations where they said almost exactly the same thing. All I have done is to say, okay, Socrates did not write anything. Orunmila did not write anything. So how do you say Socrates is the father of philosophy? They will tell me. He has a disciple called Plato. Plato was the one who now wrote 35 dialogues, which according to him were dialogues, discussions that Socrates had with some people. 35. But please, he did not tape record them. He was following his Oga for many years. When the man died, Plato did not write anything 30 years after his Oga died. Nǹkan tó kọ sórí tó rántí, what he remembered was what he wrote 30 years. It's not that he wrote it down. No. He just felt after 30 years I should not let my Oga die. So he wrote it. Now, my question is, if Orunmila wrote nothing, the ideas we credit Orunmila ibo ti wá. Simple. According to history, Orunmila has 16 disciples. He gave them a mandate. Everything he said must be memorized. If you are a Babalawo today, you must take an exam. And the exam is not written. You must have studied 12 years under Babalawo. When the man says this man is qualified, the Babalawo will sit down. Ask him to rehearse as much of Ifa as he knows. Tí ó bá lè kà sórí kò lè practice. Which means the Babalawos today are descendants of people who memorize Orunmila. Plato memorized Socrates. Babalawo memorized. So the two of them, it is their disciples that documented what they said. They didn't write anything. But when you put the two together, about 75% of what they said are the same. The only difference, which is very fundamental, Socrates said we must seek knowledge. And if you ask which kind of knowledge? A knowledge that is everlasting, that is unchanging, that is true forever. Orunmila ní kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ọgbọ̀n ọdún ni wèrè ẹ̀mí. There was even a particular occasion where Orunmila said all his disciples at Ogun Oya, he was grumbling. Bàbá kí ló ṣe yín? Ó lóun rẹ́ni tó mọ wájú ọ̀rọ̀ tó mọ ẹ̀yìn ọ̀rọ̀ ni. Wọ́n ní kí ló mean? Gbogbo yín ilẹ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n ṣùgbọ́n ṣé ẹ mọ wájú ọ̀rọ̀ ṣé ẹ mẹ̀yìn ọ̀rọ̀? Wọ́n ní wọ́n mọ̀. Ó dá yín lójú. Olókè òun á ṣèdánwò fún yín. Ó wà nílé. Ògún dé, Ògún wá kì. Kò dẹ̀ sí nǹkan tó ń ṣe ayò lọ́mọ ta. Ògún ní bàbá ẹja àtàyè ó ní rárá ó ní kó sílẹ̀kùn yàrá yẹn kó wo bẹ̀. Ògún sílẹ̀kùn bẹ̀. Kí lélẹ̀? Àdá ìbọn tó tuntun. Bàbá ṣe ẹ̀ tí ń jagun ni ó ní rárá. Ẹnìkan ló kàn wá fún un. Ṣé òun lè kó lọ? Ó lóò lè kó. Olókè. Ṣé kò mọ̀ gan-an jẹ́ ká tayò? Wọ́n tayè lẹ́ẹ̀mẹ́ta. Ògún jẹ́ kí Ọ̀rúnmìlà tètè pa àwọn tó ló fẹ́ kó. Bàbá mo ti ṣe tán ṣé kí n mọ́ ọ lọ. Ó ní kó mọ ó ṣílẹ̀kùn ó sá padà. Bàbá yìí náà ti ń ṣèké. Kí ni mo ṣe? Irin ẹ̀kan yẹn ó ti dógùn ó ti bàjẹ́. Bàbá ní kí ló bàbá kì í ṣe nǹkan tẹ́ kó síbi lẹ́ẹ̀kan bàbá nǹkan tó ń kó síbẹ̀ ni. Ló wá rí báyìí. Ó ní tó bá rà dáa tuntun kí ló mọ̀ gbẹ̀yìn ẹ̀. Ṣé bó sọ pé ọmọ wájú? Iwájú lórí tó ṣàìn ní gbẹ̀yìn ni pé kó dògùn. Ó dẹ̀ sọ pé ọmọ wájú ọ̀rọ̀ ọmọ ẹ̀yìn rẹ̀ ó ṣà lọ. Ṣàngódé the same exam. Ó ní kó sílẹ̀kùn kó wọlé obìnrin ló fi síbẹ̀ ọmọ ọdún mọ́kàndínlógún látòrí dé sàlẹ̀ gbogbo ara ẹ̀ ń dán yẹrinyẹrin. Bàbá ṣe fẹ́ fẹ́ yà ó ní rárá ìyàwó nǹkan tó bí fún un ló gbé wá ṣé ó ti lọ́kọ ó ní rárá. Ṣàngó ní ṣé òun lè fẹ́ ó lè lò fẹ́ ṣé kó mọ́ mi lọ́rùn jẹ́ ká tayò ẹ̀mẹ́ta. Ìgbà tán tayò tán lọ́mú ìyàwó ó débẹ̀. Eyín méjì ló kù sí ojú ẹ̀ ti wọnú ẹ̀kẹ́ ẹ̀ ti ràpò. Bàbá ọmọge tó mú síbí lẹ́ẹ̀kan ó ti mú kúrò bàbá lòun mú kúrò. Kí jẹ́ oníṣòwò tó bá fẹ́ ìyàwó ọmọ ọdún 11 tó bá darúgbó kí ló ṣe mọ́ rí? Iwájú ẹ̀ ni nǹkan tó fine yẹn. So Orunmila was unlike Socrates. He knows that there is no condition that is permanent. Nothing is absolutely true. It can change beyond recognition. Socrates is the one who said that knowledge must not change. Orunmila knows there is no permanent condition. Now, these people now came back to Orunmila. Kábíyèsí bàbá yìí nìkan lẹ mọ wájú ọ̀rọ̀ ó lẹ mọ̀ kó bá wọn. Mi ò sọ pé mo mọ wájú ọ̀rọ̀ nǹkan tí mo sọ ni pé ẹ̀yin gan ò mọ̀ and nobody does ọ̀nà nìkan ló mọ wájú ọ̀rọ̀. Socrates was looking for absolute truth. Orunmila knows no human being can know absolute truth. A philosophy is superior because there is no absolute truth. Èmi kọ́ ni mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ nǹkan tí wọ́n sọ ni mo kọ́ o. Nǹkan tí ìwọ sọ rí nǹkan tí wọ́n sọ ni lónìí who is better? But you see, the problem with this book is that once you see this name, including my own children, to me, that's not an intellectual attitude. If you see Socrates, even Jesus Christ, before I burn the book, I will read it. If I read it, I say this woman is a liar. But you have not read it. There's no human being. So back away to change your mind on basis of evidence. And that is what I want my Nigerians to do. Orisha is better than Jesus. Give us evidence of what your parents said. Do research. I told about the Yoruba onímọ̀ kan tán sọ o. What's the meaning of fetish? I could remember very well. Jesus Christ himself said in the Bible, àwọn tára wọn lè kò fẹ́ oníṣègùn bí ó ṣe àwọn tára wọn ò yá. A healthy person does not look for a medicine person. Oníṣègùn is somebody who makes medicine. So what is fetish about medicine? I am ill. You give me something to drink. I think the word of the medical world, they know that medicine is from herbs. Where do you get medicine apart from herbs? The difference is how you prepare it. The difference is what you use for which ailment. But I want the world to ask me, herbs. Take herbs away from Western medicine. What do you have? Medicine is about herbs. I'm not talking of surgery and so on. The Yoruba people are very interesting people. They said, ohun tá bá jẹ ní àrùn ara wa. The food you eat, which is also herbs, is the cause of the disease in your body. So what do you use to cure it? Now, I don't know who will tell me that herbs are not for medicine. I think the problem is that sometimes in traditional society, when you are given a material to take, they may ask you to say some incantations. I'm not going to defend that. But making malaria, agbo, concussion, what is fetish about that? I don't know how old I am. I am 80 going to 81. I don't use glasses. I don't know why. Because I use one leaf, which is vegetable. I take it in the morning, I squeeze it, I drop the water in my eyes. I not use glasses until I die. One single leaf, I will not mention the name. One single leaf. That's it. I was taught a lesson that, I could remember a vice chancellor of the University of Lagos was a professor of medicine, and he believed in traditional medicine. So when he launched this book, another professor of medicine scolded him that he should not over-exaggerate the Yoruba medicine, that even for ordinary pile, the Yoruba have no cure for pile. And there are 3 stages of pile. When you pass excreta, there's only mucus. That's the time you pass excreta, there's mucus and blood. The third one, which is serious, is when they have to cut away your anus because there's nothing they can do about it. But the danger is once it is cut, if it comes back, you must die. Let me say what I'm not supposed to say. Send the last one to me and I will cure it. Instead of cutting, if you see somebody who say none must be cut, and there's only one herb for curing it, the bark of a tree, just one. I know the problem we have is that I think throughout our education, we were not taught to do research. For you to condemn Yoruba herbs, you may. Have you researched into the efficacy? Have they tried it? I could remember very well, the World Health Organization had a branch in Ife. And they allowed traditional medicine men to come to the university. A particular native man gave a kind of powder something for the treatment of people who cannot sleep. sedative medicine. An American took the medicine to the laboratory. He analyzed all the chemical properties. He called a conference. I said there's nothing that can make somebody sleep in the medicine the man gave him. That's a good man. But the late Professor Akewowo was there. He agreed. He said, please, sir, you know the chemical properties in the medicine the man gave you? Yes. In Western medicine, none of these properties can put somebody to sleep. Yes. When the man gave you the medicine, did the people sleep? He said they slept. Then you are a fool. You know only 7 properties that can make you sleep. This man gave you medicine and the man sleep. You must mean that another extra one which you don't know. Otherwise, the medicine will not work. If there is no sedative in the medicine, you use it several times. Each time you use it, the man you gave or the woman slept. If what you know is not enough, the next thing to tell the man, find out another. That's the problem. In the West, you believe you know the medicine for something. There was a case published in the newspaper. Glaucoma, according to Western medicine, has no cure. There is no cure. A man from Biftemeta proved that it has cure. And he cured it. He was suffering from glaucoma. They told him he will go blind. He refused. Eventually, when he got well, he told the whole world, I don't need to hide that. He said, Orogbo is the cure. The lady went and discovered it. But let me ask you a question. Can the white man know that Orogbo can cure? Do they have Orogbo? They don't have Orogbo. How can they know what they can do? And so I think the West is actually explaining stupidity to Africans. I cannot blame the white man for not using Orogbo. Orogbo is not in his vicinity. Why don't you go elsewhere and find out whether there's another herb? That was what they did at acupuncture. Acupuncture is just using the ordinary needle to cure cancer. They said the Chinese were magicians. But when they went to study, in America today, if you're a doctor and you don't know acupuncture, nobody comes to you. Something is happening among the Yoruba medical men. The Yoruba man does not know it. The only solution, try to find out whether it works or not. But the English man is even all right. What of the Yoruba man who dismisses? A professor of medicine told me, Madam, it's only medicine from the West that works. The world knows that's a lie. When sickle cell was discovered in Nigeria, they knew that oniata is a kind of root. When you chew it and you swallow it, you improve. I go back to what I said. Why not to engage the habit of investigation, experiment? The Yoruba says, I have a cure for that. Don't accept. Try it. If it doesn't work, but if it works and you don't understand, you are the one to learn. But the Africans, the Yoruba man himself is only a way for tradition. Now, these churches, who told us that we should not use apple, are they not from the Jewish tradition? Do they not use herbs in the greatest professors of medicine in the world are Jews? I think the problem that we don't know is this. It is on the internet. Go to Israel today. Only 2% of the Israelis are Christians. You think that the whole of Israel? No. 2% are Christians. Those are the, I'm sorry, who don't even know where they come from and where they are going. That's why you should know. The Jews, they are 80%. They are using medicine. The 18% are Muslims. They are using medicine. The two people, and sincerely, if you ask me to define a Christian, I am sorry, I will be rude. Christians are the people who don't know where they come from and where they are going. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen. I will say so. But I think that is a declaration of ignorance. A good Christian will take medicine. A good Muslim will take medicine. A Yoruba man will take medicine. If your religion are taking you to a level Don't take medicine. We cannot force you, but you have to be careful you are not committing suicide.